So we have another question. How frequent should I feed my baby? Well, we kind of talked about it earlier, but this is a really common question. How frequent should I feed my baby?
Okay, yes, we talked a little bit about it, but just in this question for you guys to have, the recommendation in the early weeks is 8 to 12 times in 24 hours. And so that looks like every 2 to 3 hours. And when you hear 2 hours, that's going to be kind of on demand. If baby wants to eat sooner, we go on demand, showing feeding cues, hands to the mouth, turning, beginning to lick their lips, and crying is often more of a late cue. So we're going to feed on demand. That's going to be a frequency. Or we're waking at baby by 3 hours from the start time of the last feeding. So if you started at 2, you end at 2:40, we're going to start by 5.
Gotcha.
We'll do that until baby's 2 weeks old and back to birth weight. At 2 weeks old, they can then go longer at night. Their feeding frequency may still be 8 times in 24 hours, but we're letting them sleep longer at night. From there, from 2 to 4 weeks, as the milk production continues to become more, it starts out hormone driven, and then it becomes more supply and demand driven. How much baby is taking at the breast will impact the frequency of feeding at that time. Okay, so moms with less breast capacity will need to eat more baby will need to eat more frequently. Moms with higher capacity and baby is taking in large volumes of milk, they will feed less frequently. So either way is fine, everybody. It's okay if you have less and they feed a little more frequent, they can still get plenty. And moms with higher production, they may even just be feeding on one side. And so, as a rule, we'd like you to try to do both sides at each setting. And are we going to talk about that in the next question on the how long on each side?
Yeah. How long, how effective? Yeah. How can I make it more effective?
We'll do that in another. So yeah, so plan for at least every 3 hours from the start time until 2 weeks old. And then we're going to let baby do the longer stretch of 4 hours and beyond as baby continues to get bigger. Just look with baby going longer at night that it's a gradual space. Set your alarm. Start off first at 2 weeks. For the next 2 to 4 weeks, we set our alarm at 4 hours. Starting at 4 weeks, we set it to 4.5 to 5 and go from there. Any change that we make with our feeding frequency, it's very important. It's gradual because your body is making a certain rate of milk per hour. It's very important that we make sure the body can adjust to that change. So that's very important. It's also why we don't skip feedings and we make sure we stay on that routine, not only for baby getting enough, but for your milk production.
Yes, definitely.